Hi, my name is Lee-Loi Cheng for geekacomedy.com, and here is my review of the Apple iPhone 5. This is the white and silver model with 16GB of storage, and it is unlocked straight from Apple. Now, if you recall, I previously owned the iPhone 4S, and in fact I didn't intend to upgrade to the Apple iPhone 5. In fact, I'm on a 2-year contract, so my original plan was to not even go to iPhone 5S this year, but wait until next year when I announce iPhone 6 or what have you. But, funny story. So my dad decides to purchase an iPhone 5, and he's been using like an old 99 Blockia phone, like a Nokia big block, we call them Blockias, and it was great. I teach him the phone like in an hour and a half. He's, the Chinese feature is big on it because you can talk to Siri in Chinese, and you can do the whole handwriting thing on the keyboard. And then he decides that he cannot use the phone because it's too big to fit into his jacket pocket. I'm actually not kidding you. If any of my viewers out there have an Asian dad or a Chinese dad, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, if I have known that I was going to end up with an iPhone 5, I probably would have pushed him to get the 64GB model, but this has 16GB and it'll do me fine. Story aside, let's get to the specs. It has a super fast Apple A6 chip with 1GB of memory. It also takes 8MP photographs with a 1080p video capture. It has a 720p front-facing video camera, which is a big improvement over previous iPhones with the front-facing camera. It retains the Retina display of 326 pixels per inch on a bigger 4-inch screen, and it has a resolution of 1136 by 640. That's a 16.9 aspect ratio, so widescreen videos fit perfectly on the device. Per usual, it runs Apple iOS. Photos and videos look great. Most third-party apps you download from the App Store have been upgraded to take advantage of the new screen space. Checking email and browsing the internet is a better experience thanks to the bigger screen size, so what's not to love? However, to the review itself, I still think the screen is not big enough. Last year, Samsung sent me the Samsung Galaxy S3 and I had a 4.7-inch display. So that might be a bit too big for some people, so I think Apple should have raised it to maybe 4.2 inches instead of just 4 inches. The phone is lighter than its predecessors, which is always a plus, and the design of it is throwback style to the original iPhone, which is aluminium backing. I hate the new USB lightning adapter. For someone who has collected iPhone and iPod cables over the years, they are now incompatible with this device due to its new form factor. That said, I do love the Apple AirPods. They sound way better than the previous Apple earphones, they fit in your ear better, and it's always a plus that they come free with the phone. The iPhone 5 uses a nano SIM card, and my previous phone had micro SIM, so I had to manually cut it down since I had no access to a phone shop. The cutting was successful and the phone works fine, the network is great. The only thing though is that for a bigger phone, there is not much of an improvement in terms of signal range. I thought there would be. That said, call quality has slightly improved. Not a lot, but slightly improved. I'm also glad that the flash has been moved slightly further away from the camera, so when I take a photograph with the flash on, it doesn't flare into the lens, which did on previous models of the iPhone. I think one of the best things about the front-facing camera is being able to record high-definition video with it, so a vlogger on YouTube can record with the front-facing camera now, rather than having to flip the camera to the back to use the back camera. And that way you don't have to guess if your face is actually in the video or not, since you have the big screen. In terms of battery life, yeah, it's improved, but it's a smartphone, so the battery life is still the suck. So I might have to get a Morphe pack for it. Now for my honest review, if you own an iPhone 4S, or if your iPhone 4 is in good condition, I'd probably skip this. Now if your iPhone 4 is in pieces, you might want to upgrade. But like if you have an iPhone 4S, even though the bigger screen size is a much needed addition to the phone, it's not a reason to upgrade just yet. I'd either wait for the new model coming out this year or wait for the big model coming out next year. I'm assuming it's going to be a big model next year, considering the fact that Apple tends to do minor upgrades to the phone in uneven number of years. Now for the phone itself, it is much better than the iPhone 4S. The screen size is much improved and it does feel snappier. Now if I was to give it a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8.8, which is 0.8 more than I gave the iPhone 4S. With such a high rating, I would call it a recommended purchase, and if you're a person looking for an easy to use smartphone with lots of features and a big size screen for most people, then this is definitely a good buy. For more videos like this, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel above. You can also follow me on Twitter at Lee-Loi Cheng. Giga Comedy is now on Facebook, facebook.com/Giga Giga Comedy is also now on Twitter at twitter.com/Giga Comedy as well. My name is Lee-Loi Cheng and thanks for watching.